Hi, welcome to the A and J podcast. I'm A, this is J. Let's get this thing started. All right, so we talked about like the kinds of music and compared one song to another, like Thank You Next by Ariana Grande to
Alice's Restaurant.
Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie. I just told you, I'm sorry. But so now we're gonna be comparing Alice's Restaurant to another song that came out in 2005 called Fort Minor, and this is by Kenji, right?
No, it's by Fort Minor. Called Kenji.
Oh, I did it backwards. Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah.
Because the song is Kenji.
Yes. So Jocelyn actually found this song for me. She did find it, and she pulled it up and was like, "This is something that you can compare to this song because they're both about war, and this one's about."
It's a little bit more modern, but 2005 is a long time off.
It's like 13 years ago. My brother is that old. So in this song, it's a rap song. It's catchy. It's way shorter than this song, where these are all of the lyrics for an 18-minute song. And so this one, it says, like, my father came from Japan in 1905. That's the first time. That's the first line of the song. So it's like you can automatically tell. Okay, so this is kind of like the father. Maybe he's he's an immigrant. Maybe he came in 1905. Maybe to start another family. Maybe he wanted to start a new life. Yeah. And then he worked until he was able to actually build a store. After like another line that I skipped, he was 15, immigrated from Japan, which we just figured that out. And after he says that, it's like, okay, so he came, started a store, made a life for himself. Mm-hmm. All right, so since it's about like, it's kind of like it's
about the Japanese intern camps that happened from 1942 to 1945, back when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, because U.S. was all scared and they were like, oh, all Japanese must be bad. So it's about basically the life of someone who was in an intern camp since he was like 15 or something, grew up, came out of it, all that stuff, and like his experience.
Yeah. So it starts like the actual lyrics and stuff saying, let me tell you a story in the form of a dream. I don't know why I have to tell it, but I know what it means. Close your eyes, just picture the scene as I paint it for you. So he's like starting the whole song off by being like, I'm going to tell you the story, prepare for the story. And it also, after it starts that, he says it was World War II, and you can automatically tell, okay, so this is going to be about those camps. You can already tell, because like the first thing is Japanese, World War II, all of those kinds of things. And he starts talking about a man named Kenji and how he woke up. Ken was not a soldier, but he was just a man with a family who owned a store in LA. So it's normal life, people living how like they usually would, without like not care in the world, but like without them having to be worried about maybe I'm going to be put in a camp tomorrow. Yeah. Like no one would be worried about that.
They were still like struggling back then because it was during a war, so they had, I think that the food stamps back then and stuff like that, where they had like limited supplies because it was all going to the troops and wherever they were.
Yeah. So he starts saying that he crawled out of bed like he usually did, making ice with the kids. He lived on the second floor of a store he ran. He moved to LA from Japan, and everybody was afraid of the Germans and afraid of the Japanese, but most of all, everyone was afraid of a homeland attack. So they were thinking, oh, all of the Japanese must be in line with the people who bombed Pearl Harbor.
So that was a homeland attack.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, all of them are bad. Time to put them in a camp to make sure that we can keep an eye on them.
They didn't want like spies, and they're all worried.
So
it says, toss them in a camp.
Yeah. After like a couple lines, he starts saying, they gave Ken a couple days to get his whole life packed in 2 bags, just 2 bags. He couldn't even pack his clothes, and some folks didn't even have a suitcase. So it's starting to like bring up the story of how they had to be moved and how they didn't have enough time to like pack all of their things. They could only bring 2 bags with them. And it says, Ken didn't want to lie. He said the U.S. is looking for spies, so we have to live in a place called Manzanar, where a lot of Japanese people are. So
that's the intern camp.
Yes. And he said, stop. Don't look at the gunmen. You don't want to get the soldiers wondering if you're going to run or not, because if you run, then you might get shot. So it's like you have to be worried about these people, these gunmen.
Because they had
to make sure that you
all
don't
around the camp, and they always said, don't look at them. Don't do anything, or they're going to start being suspicious.
Yeah, you don't want to be suspicious,
you're a suspect.
You don't want to be a suspect, that word. So after that, it says, other than that, try not to think about it, try not to worry about being so crowded, because someday we'll get out, someday. And they're like, oh, we have to keep a hope, we're going to get out of here, we can do this. So they broke, and then there's another line that says, yeah, as soon as we as war broke out, the FBI came and they just come through the house and said, you have to come, all the Japanese have to go. They took Mr. Need. The people couldn't understand why they had to take him because he was an innocent laborer. So after they start taking all these people, they're like, people start questioning, like, why are they doing this? What did we do? We didn't do anything.
all the Japanese.
Yeah,
People even tried to like hide their identity. They were Japanese. They get like plastic surgery to look more like Korean or something because they didn't want to get caught because they were innocent, but they didn't want to go to like a camp.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talk about that, and then at the very end of it says when we first got back from camp, it was pretty bad. I remember my husband said, "Oh, we're gonna stay till last." Then my husband died before they closed the camps.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that's like at the end of the song, like a wife is talking about what happened.
About
an old lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the gist of the song. Like, oh, this is what happened in World War II. This happened with the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And so that song and Alice's Restaurant, they're both about war. Yeah. But Alice's Restaurant is a lot longer.
But
it's not as This one, they're both different.
It's a smaller war, but a longer song. So it makes no sense.
Yes, but this one isn't as catchy. It was very popular back then because it started a movement, but like nowadays, people wouldn't want to sit down and listen to this kind of song.
Yeah,
we would want to sit down.
Long time.
18 minutes is a very long time. But this song is about, I don't know, like maybe 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I got pulled up somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I lied.
No.
Wait.
It is about. It's about
3 minutes.
3 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes.
50 seconds.
So after we compared the meanings of the songs, they both have very powerful meanings. This one's about one more, that one's about another. Except this one, people will
and
listen to.
They're both stories.
Yeah, they're both.
But one's a shortened version. This one's like of a day or two. That one's like 3 years.
Yes. So this one is like the meanings, they match up. They're both very important, like telling stories about the two different wars, as we discussed. And then this one though is more catchy. It's a rap song, so people want to listen to this. Like people now, I'm sure.
Got like a better beat.
It's not just like
just guitar,
little
right?
guitar strumming. It's not just like da 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 da. That's literally all that song is.
Yeah.
But this one, there's beats behind it. The way the rapper is singing those things and like rapping them is like different in each kind of way. It has a pattern to it.
Pulls you in through the music.
It does.
Just the words.
Yes, and then that one, he's just talking while playing the guitar. So the two different meanings, they're very important, but the way that they're sung and like capture the person's like attention, they're very different.
Jake is intruding on
our
our recording. But now we are gonna have him come in and listen to these two songs off camera because we don't want to get copyrighted.
Yes, we do.
So and he's gonna tell us what his thoughts are. He's never heard either of these songs.
Yes, he has not.
Except we told him about it.
Yeah.
So now you can come in and
now
pause.
you can come in. Okay. Now
We're back.
We are back. So we showed I guess he's our cameraman, isn't he? He's our cameraman right now.
He's just
Sure.
here.
He's just here, yeah. We showed her just here.
Our camera people.
Yeah, so we showed Jake Kenji, the Fort Minor song, and we also showed him
Alice's
sections of Alex's Restaurant, and now we're going to see how he reacts to them. So
Come sit.
round of applause! Woo!
Yay.
Okay, so first, how did you like Alice's Restaurant?
It was long, and I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. It was just way too long, and I got bored.
I heard it for the first time. It seemed like a comedy to me. He was
Yeah.
just talking, we were laughing in the
It
background.
sounded like a live performance.
It did. So, from what you heard, what did you understand from the song, or did you just not understand anything?
I did not understand anything from that song.
Nothing?
Not one
So-
thing.
We started playing the song for him, and he goes, "I hate this." You literally were like, "Get this out, go." I hate this. You had that
It
look
was
on
just
your
so
face.
long, and it just like didn't
We
get to
barely
a point.
He barely showed you like 2 minutes of the song, and he was like, "This is terrible." But so you got to the part where it started talking about the father rapers, father stabbers, mother rapers.
All I heard was rape. That's
Yeah.
all I heard was rape the entire time.
Yeah, and it was like they were laughing because of how like it was like, oh, this is just a stand-up comedy. No, this is a song
People
that was
found it
very
amusing in the video.
popular. People found this amazing. They were like, oh, I love this song. Turn the radio up. No, this is terrible.
No.
So
Imagine how long the radio takes to play a song for 18 minutes.
I know. They probably cut out. But you also made a comment of like it's the same tempo throughout. It's the same riff.
Same beat, throughout the whole thing.
Exactly. It's the whole. That's all it is. So now that we got this one out of the way, that nobody wants to listen to ever again.
No, listen to that.
So what did you think of Kenji by Frontrunner?
I actually understood this song. Like I understood the entire story about how when his father came here from Japan in 1905 and how in
Was it?
1905, right? Yeah, 1905. And how like him and his family were only allowed 2 bags, or each person was allowed 2 bags, something like that.
Yeah, when
And-
they got put in camp.
Yeah, and so they tried to avoid, what was it, like the guards with the guns or something
Yeah,
like
don't
that,
look
just
at
so like
them.
don't even look at them to make yourself look suspicious, because everyone in America at that time just thought the Japanese people were bad.
Yeah.
They call him evil in the song.
So I have kind of background knowledge on this kind of thing because everybody took 8th grade, kind of whatever my area of
I don't know where I
Connecticut.
learned this.
I learned this kind of stuff in 8th grade where it was like, okay, so they put them in these kinds of camps, whatever. But, so like, the only, because there were other people that were like targeted. Like, they targeted Germans and the Japanese and
Well,
like,
weren't you put in the camps?
I don't know if they were
I
put in
think-
camps, but they were
I
like
think
cautious
they
around
took
them.
like a few, like, the
They
Germans
took a
and some
few.
Italians, stuck them in there,
Yeah.
just like Hitler and
Yeah.
Mussolini.
But, so they mostly took the Japanese because they looked different too. Like, it was also like a racial thing where it's just like, oh, you look different. Like, it's kind
Well,
of.
yeah, because the Japanese had just bombed Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
and they didn't want like it was in Hawaii, so it's kind of offshore, a little far away. They didn't want like people in the continental U.S. to, attack like the homeland.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Pearl Harbor, I can't talk. Pearl Harbor was like a big naval base and everything back then, and when Japan comes in, so it bombs it, they're like, oh, what if they do? It's like a major city.
Yeah.
So it was mostly in the West Coast that they made these camps.
Yeah.
And everybody was stuck in there, so all Japanese.
Yeah, I feel like everybody would just be safe if they just went to Alaska, but that's just my opinion.
We've never Alaska's done nothing as
Alaska has probably a majority of 10 people living there. Not even.
Do you know how big that state is?
It's big, but it's cold. Who wants to live in Alaska?
I
It's
mean,
cold.
There's like a few like wild men out there, but yeah, there's a few families that live up in the woods over there, like with like, no electricity or nothing. But there are
There are plenty of people out there.
There's a few cities.
And there's like some big cities, and I don't think Juneau's too big, but
Yeah, well, that's completely off topic, but
that's okay.
It's okay. So, when you listen to both of them, did you make any comparisons in your head? Like, you heard us talking about, like, and comparing those two, so, like, what do you think? Like, do you think that they're similar? Do you like that one better, like that one better?
What the
I like
stuff?
I like Kenji better. Totally. I mean, I can't even process Alice's restaurant.
I had that with me. No, it was with you, because you took that. Yeah, you took the script with you the first time, like, after that.
Yeah.
But, so I had to look up the script, because I could not read. I mean, I could not
understand.
Didn't you
I
start
couldn't
laughing at
understand
one point?
He had no, people in the background who
People
were
in the background
listening
were laughing.
started laughing. Like, it was hysterical. And it was
It was like a live performance.
Yeah.
It was. That was the first
Way
time that I was
more of a
recording.
comedy.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a comedy, and it was more of like, how people are like, okay, guys, story time. And it's like kind of those kinds of things where like you're at a library and you have and the people like reading the books and stuff. And it's kind of more like that rather than a song.
Kids. What about a comedy show?
It's kind of like a comedy show, but it was also like not so comedic. Like it was like a serious issue, but he just kind of made it funny. So it was
His voice made it like really weird. It's like
he literally sounded okay.
I don't know
so
where he's from.
It
but
sounded like Charlie Brown. Like, how the parents are like going wah 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 wah
Yeah.
wah. That's what he sounded like. In my head,
Oh,
I was
it
thinking
kinda did,
that's
yeah.
what I was thinking of.
At some point, it was just like rambling to me.
It
Just
literally-
like,
all
it
was
is
rambling.
rambling. This
That's
whole
all
thing
it
is
was.
rambling.
All right, so that's our comparison.
Yeah.
That is the it. That's the it. That's the it. Thank you for watching. I guess is what we're gonna say.
Say,
I'm A. This is Jay. This is Jake.
Jake. And Alana's
Guest
not
star.
here.
Alana's not there, but that's Alana. So
That's Alana.
thanks.
Bye.